Good morning. It is about 9:30. I dropped Ro off at nursery at about 8. It's only her second day. She's there 3 days a week for 5 hours. So since dropping her off, I have gone to the shop, had a shower, fixed that crane, and now I have about, 3.5 hours left to get some stuff done. So because this free time is still very new to me, I am still figuring out how I'm going to use it. For today, I'm just going to do some life admin while she's away, and then in the afternoon while she's napping, get some work done. I probably should have done it the other way around, but I have this massive brain dump list of little things that need doing. One of them was fixing that crane. One of them was doing something with this butternut squash that we've had for so long. I don't know if you look back in my previous videos, it's been around for a long time. It might just be hanging around in the background, but I really need to use it. So I'm going to make some butternut squash soup, and I'm going to make it with no salt or honey so that baby can have it too, and then we can add our own seasonings when Ozzy and I have it. Yeah, I have a list on my phone. Gone are the days of bullet journaling for me. I do still calendar blocks, so I'll have my whole month planned out with just 1 or 2 key work tasks put in per day, and that just keeps me on track with getting the stuff done work-wise that I need to do. But for day-to-day planning, I keep a quick list that I make the night before, just on like the front page of my phone. So today in this morning's calendar block was life admin, so I made a list of the things I want to get done during that time. But yeah, nursery, big development. At the moment, like I said, she's doing 5 hours a day, 3 days a week, because that is as much as we can get funded by the government. At the moment, we are actually paying for it just because our funding doesn't kick in till after Easter, but she was so ready and I was so ready to get some time back. She's just really eager to meet new people and do new things, and she's loving it so far. We've done like a few trial days, so there was time when I was there with her. She just got straight into it. She got so stuck in, like going and hanging out with the other kids. She's so sociable, and as someone that's really, really shy and was painfully shy as a child, it's really encouraging to see just how open she is to meeting new people. And yeah, I'm very, very proud. This is a really simple soup. Like, I'll always just make it with whatever orange/red tone foods that we have just around. Chuck them all in the oven and roast it, maybe 45 minutes. Then chuck it in a pan that's had some like garlic and ginger sauteing. Usually add vegetable stock, but that's quite salty, I think. So I'll just add some herbs and water, and then let it all mix together and blitz it. And then you've got this lovely thick soup that goes really well with like a cheese toastie. However, not too sure how it's going to turn out, because at the moment, don't know how well you can see that, but a few days ago our oven door fell off. So that at the top is more of a grill. I'm going to be using that, but you know, hopefully it all works out. As long as everything's cooked and softened, it should be okay. The risk is that it all burns. Right, I'm going to oil this all up and chuck it on a baking tray. I'll do the butternut squash first, have that in for the longest, and then I'll chuck in the rest. I don't know, about half an hour to go. And I need to remember that I'm not adding salt. It's such a natural instinct, but no salt. Okay, and while that cooks, that first round, I'm going to get on with some dusting and hoovering.
I am stronger than before. I know, let it go. Rise, rise, rise.
that, but I didn't think you needed to see all that. And then I got back to the soup. So I did like fried ginger seasonings, and then I had a bit of yogurt left in a pot. So I added some water to that, added that, some more water. Then the veg came out of the oven, threw that all in together, blitzed it, and it turned out so good. It's really, really tasty, even without salt. While I was cleaning, I was listening to High School Musical, the musical, this series soundtrack. I recently asked you guys for TV show recommendations, and I got some really good ones. One that I have in mind to watch next is Hacks, because that one came up quite a lot. I also just finished, what's it called? Adolescence on Netflix. That was heavy. And sometimes I need something light. So I am a huge High School Musical fan. I put off watching the series because I feel like it's for a younger generation. I don't really watch stuff about, 16-year-olds going through high school issues. But, it was like a hug. It was so nostalgic. It was so fun. And I can't wait to watch it again from the beginning. Yeah, I binged the whole show in like 3 days. As much as I might love a gritty drama, I do also love a fluffy musical. So yeah, any films or TV shows that you can recommend, I would much appreciate. Now it's about 11:15, so I have about 2 hours left and I have done my house stuff, so it's time to get some work done. If you remember in my last video, I made a bunch of new prints, and if you haven't seen that video, please do check it out. I really enjoyed making that one and I love how the prints have turned out. But the product images on my website just don't really fit with the rest of the products on my website at the moment. So I'm going to make some sort of mock-ups, I think, of the listing photos. I like to show the print to scale, so I usually will hold them if I can, just so people can get an idea of how big or small things are. Now, because the prints are print on demand, I don't have all of them here. I do have one that I have framed up there, but I think what I'll do is take pictures of me holding blank pieces of paper that are the size of the prints. Don't know if you can hear Torii scratching the chair behind me. His hair is everywhere. As soon as the sun comes out, he just sheds like crazy. It doesn't matter how much I brush him. So that is why I'm hoovering like every other day at the moment. I forgot what I was saying, but I'm gonna take pictures of me holding pieces of paper the size of the prints and then try to sort of superimpose the image of the prints onto those pictures and get that up on my website. So since I don't have a studio space anymore, I've had to get creative with where I store my bigger things. So everything that I need day to day is here at my desk or in the coffee table. But all of the bigger stuff, like these random big bits of paper and card and like my scrapbooking stuff, extra paints, extra paintbrushes, all of that is squirreled away throughout the rest of the flat. And it's a lot easier to access while baby's not here because she is normally asleep in there, although we are thinking about moving her into her own room. That would involve a whole rejig of the flat, and I just don't think we're ready for that. So I'm going to cut this piece of cardboard down to size. I think that'll be easier to hold and it remains straight rather than a piece of paper, although this one is staying quite straight. This has a print on that I don't want to do any damage to. But this is the size of one of the prints, so I can use this as my blank piece of paper, just obviously not show the front. I'm assuming that this is what I'm going to be doing up until it's time to go and pick Ro up from nursery. I'm going to bring a bunch of library books with me so we can stop off at the library on the way. I've had a bunch of books that I haven't returned in so long. I've been renewing them and renewing them and renewing them, but I think it's about time I gave them back. I need to make sure we do that quickly because I have a meeting at 2. It was meant to be yesterday, but I ended up missing it because I got my time zones wrong, which is so bad. It's just not a good look, not very professional. Luckily they were really understanding, but honestly, I don't know if it's the sleep deprivation or what, but my mind just does not work the way it used to. And as someone that is used to having their shit together, it's just taking some adjustment to honestly feel like I'm on another planet most of the time. But yeah, before that meeting, obviously need to do the library, get home in time to feed Ro and get her down for a nap, and hopefully she naps, because if not, I'm in trouble. Let's not wave that around. But nursery really knackers her out, so I'm kind of expecting a good 2-hour nap, although yesterday she only did an hour, so we'll just see how we go. I have been getting updates from them. There's like an app that the nursery uses to send pictures and just, you know, what she's eaten and what she's up to. So as weird as it is to have her not here, because, you know, she's always been here, it's always been the two of us, and it's crazy to think that she's just out in the world doing other things that I don't know, that I'm not there for. It is nice to get those updates and see that she's doing great and she's having fun. Honestly, I think she's more upset when she gets home and all her little friends aren't here. Okay, so that will cover the larger prints that I have. And then what's the size of 8 by 10, 12 by 16? So that is, okay, so we just need to do. So these are my 3 print sizes. And of course, I'm going to save these scraps because I'm an art supply hoarder and I'm sure I'll find a use for these at some point. Now I need to find somewhere with good lighting and a plain background. Plain background there, bad lighting. I added some salt and some honey and a drizzle of balsamic vinegar to my soup, and it's so good, so quick and easy, but really, really tasty and nourishing. And hopefully baby will like it as well, even the pared down version. I usually give her just a version of whatever I'm having for lunch. So I'll give her this with like some toast and some cheese or something. And I'll do that tomorrow because today she has eaten at nursery. They haven't said what she's eating, but she is having music time, which looks very fun. So I need to hurry up now because I'm running out of time. It's crazy how quickly these hours go. But I have my library books ready to take with me as I head out. So they're mainly kids' books. And I'm trying to only get children's books when I go to the library, but I always end up picking up something for myself. But the reason that I've had all of these books for so long is because of this one. I did not want to return this, and I'm going to have to buy a copy. This is The Highway Rat by Julia Donaldson. She is most famous for The Gruffalo, but this Highway Rat is so good. She's so clever. Her rhymes are so good, and the stories are great. But this one has some magic in it. I've read this so many times. I have read it like night after night, sometimes twice in a row. I could probably recite it by heart. And they have films of a lot of her books that she's done with the illustrator Axel Scheffler. They have like animated films on BBC iPlayer of those stories. And in the BBC adaptation of this one, the rat is played by David Tennant. So my Highway Rat, when I'm reading this, has a Scottish accent. Give me your chocolatey clairs. Yeah, we have good fun with this one and I'm going to miss it. I have held on to this for over a month at this point, so it's time for someone else to have it, and I will be buying a copy, maybe for baby's birthday. And then books that I have for myself, I've read Whereabouts by Jhumpa Lahiri, which was a really interesting one. It was just short snippets from a short period of life of this woman who lives alone. She's like middle-aged maybe, I think she was in her 40s, and she has a complicated relationship with her parents, and she's sort of exploring that in her mind, but just through different chapters of, it'll be like at the supermarket, in the country, so just random moments in her life that are very sort of everyday, but you get a lot of insight into her thoughts. These kinds of books are hit or miss for me because there's not much story going on, but it's so well written, it's so beautifully done that I was really, really invested. I was really interested in this woman and her life and the things that she was feeling and thinking. And then I also read The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. There is a film of this out now, and I went into this not knowing anything about it. I've seen maybe 2 stills from the film, and my first thought was maybe it was like a queer coming of age story. It's not that. It was really heavy, really devastating. Another beautifully written book, like so perfect, spot on for me, like not too flowery, but still with some sentences, some moments that make you stop and think, wow, that's such a clever way to put that. But yeah, when I finished this one, I just had to sit in silence for a while. I felt like I wanted to cry, but I wasn't crying. And then when I went to bed that night, I couldn't sleep because I couldn't stop thinking about it. This is one of the first 5 out of 5 books that I've read this year. And if this wasn't a library book, I would give this to my dad because he would definitely like that. I actually got him a really nice copy of James by Percival Everett for his birthday, which was last month. I might have talked about that already, but he's loving that. And then my current reads, these are the ones that I shouldn't have because I have 255 books on my TBR, which is the list of books that I want to read. I use Storygraph to log my reading, and on there you can choose, I think, up to 5 books to have on your up next from your list of books that you want to read. So I have added 5 books that I want to read from that list that I have been meaning to get to forever. This list has been going on for years. I can't remember when I started it, but it might have been maybe 10 years ago. So there's a lot on there that I need to read. But have I picked up any of those books yet? No, because every time I go to the library, I see something that catches my eye and I end up reading that. So when I am done with these and return these, I need to start working through my list. But for now, I am reading The Extinction of Irina Ray. This is just something that I saw and picked up because I liked the look of it, I liked the synopsis. I do love the library for that, like just finding random books that I wouldn't have picked up otherwise. And this is about a group of translators who work for a very sort of notable, politically involved author who is like world famous. She is Polish, I believe, and every time she writes a book, she's very reclusive, very mysterious, and every time she writes a book, she brings her group of translators who are all working exclusively for her. It's a little bit culty. They've got a lot of rituals, a lot of traditions and sort of rules, and the way that they conduct themselves around her is all quite constrained, and they don't even have names. They are called the languages that they translate into. So there's like English, Spanish, Slovenian. Anyway, I think there's like 8 of them or something. They are out at the summit, which is what they call the time they all come together to translate her latest work. And the author is acting strange and then she disappears. So the interesting thing about this one is that it's told by one of the translators, the Spanish translator. I think she's from Argentina. But my copy, obviously being English, is translated by the English translator. And there's like some back and forth between them, some moments where the English translator sort of footnotes in saying that's not how it happened. So I'm really enjoying it. It took me a while to figure out who the narrator was and what was going on, but now that I've figured that out about a quarter of the way in, about a third of the way in, it's really good fun. It kind of reminds me of, I haven't read the book, but I've seen the film. It kind of reminds me of Annihilation, like the forest they're in being its own character, having its own life. And also it's got some Lord of the Flies energy. So a group of people untethered from reality, isolated, and without the guiding force that they used to rely on, and how they might start spiraling into sort of disarray and chaos. So really enjoying that one. And then I finally picked up this one. This is called Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo, which is, honestly, I don't know anything about it. I know that it's set in Nigeria, and as a quarter Nigerian, I always appreciate a book set in Nigeria. So both of these books I didn't mean to pick up. I was at the library getting kids' books, and then the librarian was working on the checkout machine, and I'm awkward, so I just sort of hung around pretending to look at books and ended up finding some to grab. I just realised I've been rambling and I need to get ready to go. I'm also covered in soup from the blitzer, but I don't have time to change. Right, so this is what we've got for now. Definite improvement on the sort of stock images that I had on there before. But I feel like I need to have like a full mock-up making day or even week just to get some solid images in and a good system for getting the artwork into the pictures, because that took forever. Someone actually gave me a Photoshop tip in my last video. Thank you so much, you're gonna change my life. If anyone knows of a good way to do mock-ups, I did watch a few videos and maybe I'm just overcomplicating things. So let me know if there are any tools, because one of the videos I watched had a tool in it I did not have on my Photoshop, and I feel like my Photoshop's up to date. Anyway, rest of the day, I've got about half an hour left of the work day. I'm just gonna spend it clearing out some emails, doing a few more admin things. I'm just gonna be on the computer, so I won't put you through watching that. Then I'll have a good solid hour of playtime with baby before we start dinner and bath time and all of that good stuff. But for now, we will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye.